Okay, chapter 2 in part 5. I've worked on the drawing for about an hour and a half, maybe a touch more, since chapter 1 of part 5. And basically what I've done here is I've been working on these trees. I just softened this a little bit more, and I thought I was going to be working on this a lot more, this reflective window here. And, I did it and it looked good and it didn't take a long time, so I'm like, you know what? Let's just leave it. Let's not overwork it. So I continued to work in the trees, and I still have to finish this tree a little bit more. And then I started working down over here and just doing, I'm not quite sure what this is. It's part combination grassy hill, part combination trees, and here's another grassy hill. I'm just trying to show the layers going back. I'm not in love with what I've done there, but I think it's okay for now. As long as it's going into the background, that's all I care about. And now what I started doing was I did this first goose. Okay, so I basically, very soft, thought of it in its simple form, and I didn't go too crazy with the rendering on it. I'm just looking for its basic shapes. So now I'm looking at my photo reference, which should be right below the video. And these two geese over here, this gray and white one, I'm not quite understanding. It looks extremely awkward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate it, and I'm just going to put the white one in, at risk of them looking like I copied from the same goose, and I just repeated them. I'm going to do this one, I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do the one up there. So let me zoom in just a touch for you. And I also added the fence, so it's starting to come along. I really did not anticipate the amount of time I would be working on this piece. It's really taken me a super long time, and it's all good. I haven't done a good long piece in quite some time, so there's something to be said for doing the long time duration drawing versus always doing the quick stuff. All right, so basically this is a little uncomfortable for me to draw because this camera lens is right near my face, but I'm gonna kind of do my best shot here. And actually, let me just lift up my reference so I can actually see it. So this goose walking towards us, basically what I'm going to do here is, I'm just checking it out on camera screen so I can see what you guys see. First thing I need to do is shadow shape. Okay, nice sharp pencil, just get in the shadow. Now, I'm not going to match the values because I don't want this goose coming forward into the foreground, so I really have to be careful here, just making sure that everything is in focus. I just have to really be careful. Let me zoom out a touch. That I don't go too dark with this, okay? So get in the legs. The legs are going to blend with the grass. This foot of the goose, I'm going to try to get that triangular thing, that shows that it's a goose foot and not, too straight up like a flamingo. And then this, let's see, I'm just trying to life draw as I go here. Got that little shadow over there. This is going to roll up. I already started to kill some of the light on here. This is the back part, so I got to really be careful. I might have to touch this with my eraser and come on down. So we've got the body in, and the body is just a basic ball from this point of view. Now I want to try to get the neck, and the neck is a cylinder. So I'm just going to wrap around. It looks to me like I've got to make a couple of areas skinnier. The head is really dark. And then there's that little top. The head is a ball. I'm trying to let you guys know how I'm thinking when I'm looking at this. I'm basically trying to break the goose down to primitive shapes. Ball, a cylinder, Well, that's what I basically see. At the same time, just trying to understand how light and shade is hitting this goose, and aesthetically, you know, trying to make it realistic but not too much detail because it's in the background. Okay, that's cool. I'm just going to turn the cylinder of the neck a little bit. I'm not going to match the values because it looks a little awkward. I'm just going to try to manipulate. And then there's all the little wings and the feathers that have indents. Now the fun part is the cast shadow that the goose is casting. No cast shadow, no light. All right, you must have a cast shadow in order for the viewer to appreciate the light in your scene. So I'm going with the grass, and it's a very small cast shadow. I'm going to push it more than what I see in the reference. Got to have a really sharp pencil for this. I don't want to kill all my light. I'll leave that for now. It's blocked in okay. Let's go over to this one very quickly here and see if we can block this one in. I've got one skinny leg, another skinny leg. They should have been closer together. So I'm just drawing the underplane, very light and glowy because the light from the grass is bouncing up and hitting the underplane, plus the underplane is white. So there's a lot that, you know, I've got to take into consideration when I'm drawing this background goose. Okay, that's cool, and I just have to right away I'm going to get rid of the lines by going over this with the grass of the goose that was behind this one. My philosophy is that if I can't understand it and I'm looking at the reference, then the viewer who's looking at my piece of art is going to be like, they screwed up, Matt screwed up, you know, drawing those geese, and you know, he can't draw geese, and that's going to be the one thing that they're left with after looking at my drawing. And too dark. I'll come in with my kneaded eraser and kind of fix that. But yeah, your artwork is as good as its weakest link. And in this one, the weakest link is going to be that if I put that goose in, it looks very strange. So I've got to watch that. And right now, this is too dark, but that's okay. I'll tap it with my eraser off screen. Let's just get in. Let's make up the cast shadow a little bit more. And we've got to make the body a little fatter. Yeah, and now I'm just going to do the grass right up above it to show the top plane a little bit more light. And this, you just have to use your really, really, really light touch for this. And you've got to be conscious of, you know, this is in a light area. If I go too dark with it, it's going to pop, and we're not even going to look at the girl. Okay, so if we zoom out very quickly, we're going long on this video. You know, they're set back, which is a good thing. And, you know, it looks so much better in real life than it does on the computer screen. Yeah, so all I care is that they're set back and that you understand that it's a goose and not, you know, something weird. They do look a little different, which I'm happy about. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the geese, and I'm going to refine them. They're really tiny. I would say this one is about 1/4 of an inch, and this is 3/8 of an inch. So that's tiny for this little pencil points, even still. So I'm going to work on that off screen. Yeah, cool.